Hey guys, what's going on? This is Fred2266 here. Today I decided to read The Little Things in Life, Chapter 5, by CabraL095, since I have not read one in a little bit, and he's probably, every day he always checks my channel for another upload for his story, and he sees there's not one and he shakes his fist. Curse you, Fred, you bastard. Well, I'm proud to announce that there will be another upload in the coming minutes. There's 5,000 words, actually 5,009 words, sorry, of Chapter 5 is entitled, They're Gone! So I guess that means Neville kidnapped the ponies. I knew that son of a bitch was bad. Fairy god ponies. Anyway, let's get started. What the fuck was that? I don't know. Chapter 5. Well, what do we do, Sparkle? The first sentence and I screw up, Dash asked while anxiously hovering over the group. The purple filly stared around her for a moment before looking back to her friends, each of them showing concern for their missing pink friend. I don't know, she responded, casting her gaze downward. We can't just go outside, AJ stammered. Jeff said to stay put. But if Pinky's out there, then she could get in even bigger trouble, Dash rebuked. What if she gets lost? That's why we should stay, Crystal added. What if we get lost too? Then who's going to find us? Who's going to find Pinky then? Sparkle replied. Look, we have until that clock says 6 o'clock p.m. The ponies all looked up to the clock, which read 1:07 p.m. Dash, can you carry me over to that window? Sparkle asked. I guess, she replied. Dash hovered over to the tiny unicorn and wrapped her hooves around her. Flapping her wings harder, Dash slowly lifted Sparkle, straining herself to get them both airborne. The two staggeredly approached the window shortly thereafter and made a not-so-soft landing. Ow! Sparkle cried. Sorry, Dash apologized. With a final wince, Sparkle brushed herself off and walked over to the glass in hopes of spotting Pinky outside. Through the window she saw the grass far below her tiny hooves, and scanned it through for a pink filly bouncing around. Failing to find anything in the immediate open, Sparkle looked more closely at the bushes and trees, the crevices and small holes, anything that might have a tinge of pink fluff. Do you see her? Applejack called from afar. No, the purple filly cried back. Jeff smiled as he handed a small boy a plastic soldier, eliciting a bout of giddy jumping and cheering from the kid as he went back to his mother. Excuse me! That's right, little boy, you better not burp, you shit. Look, Mommy, look! He exclaimed as they walked out of the store. As Jeff watched him leave, he quickly stretched his arms before looking into his watch. 11:53 a.m. Finally! It's almost time for my lunch break. Jeff rang up one last purchase before closing the register lane and walking off to the staff lounge to dine in peace. Feeling his pocket, Jeff made sure Pinky hadn't left yet, and was thankful to see the small lump sitting in his pocket. He did not want another fiasco to unfurl like this morning. Good, she's still there. I think. Please actually be her. It's a condom, you man whore. Jeff reached the lounge, which was completely devoid of people, which wasn't that unusual as most employees preferred to eat at one of the fast food shops nearby. He sighed in relief that this was another such day, and walked to his locker for his lunch. After retrieving the brown paper bag and sitting down, he reached into his pocket to pull out his pink fuzzball. Pinky was curled into a ball, asleep. How long has she been out? And how in the heck do you sleep in someone's pocket? Oh well, all questions I will never know the answers to. Jeff sat Pinky down to the table and began to munch away at his sandwich. After a few bites, Pinky woke with a scream. Jeff, that was scary, Pinky hollered. I was in this really super-duperly strange place with pink clouds and there was soap! Soap everywhere! So much soap! Discord, I'm invading your dreams. I can't make a song because I don't know how to rhyme. Pausing a moment to get his reaction, she looked up at Jeff when one was not given. His face contorted and strained, and began to change shades, which caused Pinky to burst into laughter. Oh, Jeff, she giggled. You look so funny. Jeff flailed his arms and pointed to his throat, his face now turning red from panic. Too much hot sauce? Pinky laughed more, rolling onto her back and snorting while Jeff balled his fist and began to beat on his chest. Pinky continued her laughing until finally speaking up. Is this a new game, Jeff? Can I play? Jeff continued to pound his chest until he lost his balance and fell backwards in his chair, a small chunk of sandwich flying out of his mouth as he landed. Jeff gasped for air as he lay there, his panic receding and his face returning to its normal hue. He looked up at the table for a second to see Pinky laying on the edge, staring at him before jumping up to mimic his actions, coughing up a hairball to finale. Pinky just giggled as Jeff stood up. The only thing he could do, doing his bewildered at the pink filly. How? Jeff began to ask, but thought it was best to forget about it. Never mind. That was a fun game, Jeff, Pinky chirped. Can we play another? Before Jeff could respond, he heard a voice outside the lounge door. His heart skipped a beat, knowing whom it belonged to. Pinky gasped, "People! People!" People! No, Jeff responded. He quickly grabbed Pinky and shoved him down his shirt. Ew. Jeff quickly righted his chair and sat down, eating a sandwich while trying to act calm as the door casually swung open. A woman about Jeff's age walked through the door. "Oh, hey, Jeff," she said kindly. Jeff choked a little on his sandwich. "Oh, hey, Anna. What brings you here?" Did I seriously just say that? Jeff, she chuckled. "This is the break room. What do you think I'd be doing?" "Robbing a bank? I'm such a fucking dork." Anna laughed as she walked over to her locker and opened it so she could adjust her dark blonde hair in the mirror. Jeff continued to munch on his sandwich, the slow and methodical chewing making scarcely a sound. The look of contentment on his face was matched only by the contemplation in his eyes, calculating his next move to contain his pink problem and keep Pinky safe. And then he started giggling. "What's so funny, Jeff?" That's a man's voice. Sorry, I'll make it more girly. "What's so funny, Jeff?" Anna questioned. Jeff coughed. "Nothing, it's just—" He broke out into laughter again, spitting up some of his sandwich in the process. Anna giggled and sat across from him, placing a Tupperware of salad on the table. "Whatever's in that sandwich, I want some," Anna joked. Jeff laughed even more and began to settle down. He scratched his shirt and whispered under his breath, "Pinky, stop moving." "What was that, Jeff?" "Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. Again. Anyway, it was just an inside joke. You wouldn't get it." So, how have you been, Anna?" "Oh, wake up, come to work, go home, that sort of thing." She munched down on her lunch. "Sounds like a complex life." God damn it. Sounds like a complex life to me. "I don't think I could handle such a hard and arduous lifestyle," Jeff sarcastically stated. Anna chuckled. "And what about you, Jeff? Is anything new or exciting happened to you recently, besides talking with yourself?" "Hey! Never underestimate the intricacies of talking with oneself, whatever the fuck." Jeff took another bite of his sandwich. "Anyway, I moved into that apartment finally. That's been interesting. Brian helped me move in." "Oh, nice. So how's living on your own for the first time?" Jeff took another bite, pondering a moment as he swallowed. "It's been weird." Anna took another mouthful of lettuce and swallowed. "Yeah, I remember the first time I moved out. Parents all concerned, worried about murderers, gangs, and that kind of thing." "Ah, well, that's a bit different from mine. My parents are concerned, but they're alright with it. It's just what happened like the day after I moved in." Jeff ate the last bite of his sandwich. "Neighbors?" Jeff queried. "Oh, well, there is this one guy." "Okay, get this. So apparently this guy is a major nut. He thinks that fairies are real. This guy's a lost cause. He suspects me of harboring some miniature ponies or something." Jeff sheepishly finished his sandwich. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed, covering her mouth. "He sounds like a total nut." "He's a normal guy. You're the one with a man voice, bitch." "This place is huge!" Dash exclaimed. The filly stood upon the lawn below Jeff's apartment. The blades of grass nearly engulfed the small equines, their tiny heads poking out just above the blades. "Let's not just stand around here," Sparkle stated. "Let's find Pinky." "Pinky!" Dash yelled. "Oh, Pinky dear!" Crystal called. The group scattered as they began their search. AJ walked to some bushes near a wooden fence. Fluttershy cautiously searched the grass in front of her, and Dash did flybys over the general area. Despite their best efforts, there was a serious lack of pink to be found. While looking along the fence, Sparkle ran across a small hole in the wall, large enough for one of them to fit through. "Girls, look at this!" she called out, Dash spreading the word to those too far to hear, and the fillies proceeded to halt their efforts and join Sparkle at the fence. You don't think she went through, do you?" Crystal inquired. "Oh. God damn it. Whatever, Rarity. You sound normal right now." "And just for the hell of it, I'm gonna make Sparkle sound like Crystal." "I don't know," replied Sparkle. I just hope that wherever she is, she's okay. We can't just let her be on her own, AJ interjected. We should go after her. As long as we don't lose sight of this place, we can find our way back. I say it's worth a shot, Dash said. The fillies all nodded in agreement and entered the hole in the fence, not noticing Fluttershy tried to object. With a meep, she followed through with the group. Jeff, having finished his lunch, checked his phone for any missed messages before placing it back inside his locker and shutting it, Anna closing hers as well after sorting empty containers from her lunch. The two exited the lounge with Jeff, of course, using his mighty powers of chivalry and honor to open the door for Anna. "Why, thank you, kind sir," she said through a giggle. "You're welcome. So, Jeff, when are you going to let me see your place?" Anna asked. "Why, Anna, why?" "Oh, well, you see," Jeff paused, scrambling for words. "I just moved in, and it's a mess some other time. And I just moved in, and it's a mess. Some other time, maybe. All right?" "Oh, okay then. I'll talk with you later, Anna." "Bye, Jeff. See you tomorrow." The two began to walk in different directions, returning to their post. A simple wave of goodbye, and they lost sight of one another. Finally out of sight and earshot, Jeff sighed in relief and walked into a toy aisle, checking once more to ensure that no one would show up unexpectedly, and reached into his shirt pocket and pulled out his Pinky. She was eating a sandwich. "Pinky?" "Yeah?" she asked, her mouth munching on the delectable sandwich. "Where'd you get that sandwich?" She looked to the food, then to Jeff, then back to the food before taking another bite, and shrugging. "I have no idea," she said, a smile on her face. "Never mind. Pinky, do you think you can keep quiet for another—" Jeff looked to his watch. 1:05 p.m. 5 hours. He held up 5 fingers. "Then I promise you, the best cupcakes you've ever had." "The bestest?" "Yes, the bestest cupcakes ever." Pinky's eyes lit up, dropping her sandwich. She leaped up and latched onto Jeff's nose. "Thank you so much!" she exclaimed. Just what she needs. More freaking sugar. But if she keeps her quiet until I get home, a sugar rush is a small price to pay. "You're welcome, Pinky. Now, can you let go of my face?" "Okie dokie dokie," Pinky said. She popped off his nose and fell back and down into his pocket. With Pinky back out of sight, Jeff resumed work, going up and down different toy aisles and showing kids some of the amazing new toys released, demonstrating the new helicopters, propping up dolls next to their play sets, showing off the new Lego sets, especially the Star Wars ones. Those always sold well. While looking at the Legos, he considered getting some for Dash and thought of what other toys he could get for the others. Magical Fairy Kingdom toys, perhaps. The kids were all enthralled with Jeff and his many failed attempts at controlling the small RC toys. Pinky often grew curious and watched little people watch Jeff. She saw their smiles and laughter and wanted to join in, but she couldn't. Jeff told her she would get the bestest cupcakes ever if she was quiet. Jeff was entertaining little girls. Ew, that rapist! A fairy in his right hand and a pony in the other. "And I grant thee the gift of flight," Jeff said as the fairy, his voice high-pitched. Yeah, that was really high-pitched, jackass Fred. "Like, oh my gosh," Jeff the Valley Pony said. "This is like the bestest day ever." The girls and their parents giggled at the show. Jeff sat in front of a small table, various toys and props spread out upon the canvas. The pony and the fairy were flying side by side in Jeff's hands. "I've never, been so alive." "You must promise me to only use your powers for good," the fairy said. "All right," the pony replied. I cross my heart and hope to fly. Stick a cupcake in my eye," a muffled voice shouted out. Jeff froze up for a moment as he realized who said that before noticing that the girls were laughing. Jeff did his best not to sigh in relief, lest he ruin what ended up as pure genius. "A cupcake in your eye? I really like cupcakes," the muffled voice shouted out again. The audience again broke out in laughter, Jeff as well, not being able to control himself. Some muffled giggles and snorts emanated from his pocket as well. "You know, these fairies remind me of Neville. Wait a second. Does Neville even have a job? He's a professional nerd. I can't imagine who'd hire him. I left the ponies alone in the apartment next door to that madman. Wait, I locked the door. No, wait, no I didn't. Yeah, I did. Oh well. I just hope he doesn't find where I hid my spare key." "I said come out with your hands on your head," the officer shouted into the apartment. "I will not ask again." Neville sat there against the bedroom wall. His knees were shaking and his teeth chattering. "The fuzz? What are they doing here? How did they find out? I can't let them know what I was doing. I must hide the evidence." Neville scrambled to his feet and hid the butterfly net and camera underneath Jeff's bed. "All right," he shouted. "I'm exiting the bedroom." He did so. "I am now walking in the hallway. I have passed the bathroom. I am now—" "Sir," an officer yelled back, "please just stop and get out of the building already." Neville walked through the open front doors, hands resting on his head. Neville slowly walked down the stairs and then promptly fell down, almost seeming to bounce down the steps of an ah, ooh, or eh at each impact before landing face first on the ground. An officer came over and picked him up, handcuffing him in the process. "You have the right to remain silent, and all that other stuff, blah, 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 blah," the officer said. "I think you missed quiet, you!" Neville shut up and was placed in the back of the cop car. A second officer arrived from Mr. Jonas's office. "Hey, Frank, go ahead and check the loon. I'll stay here and let the owner know what happened," he said. All right, came a gruff reply. Frank entered the squad car and drove off. Neville just looked out the window to the apartment. Soon the car left the complex and was on the street towards downtown. The park passed by Neville's window when something caught his eye. A few colorful figures walking into a bush. They were small and even more so pony-like. "No! My chance, drat! Why today of all days to get arrested?" He placed his head on the window and watched the park pass by. "Don't you worry, my little ponies. I will catch you as soon as I get out of this mess, which will be soon-ish, and then I shall prove that I'm not crazy." "Do you hear me?" "Yes," the officer grumbled back. "Now just shut up until we get to the station. We'll be there in about 10 minutes. "You better watch your flank, Miss Sparkle." 10 minutes later, the car never arrived at the station. Massive fires had broken out all over the nearby, nearly destroyed city, the rampaging monster having snore, pop. "Huh? Who? What?" "I said get out of the car. We're here," the officer repeated to the now awake Neville. The officer in the driver's seat killed the engine and followed the first cop, escorting Neville out of the car and into the building. There wasn't anything spectacular about the station. It was a normal police station that was more or less unchanged from the previous times. Neville had seen it for various reasons. Well, at least they cleaned the floors. Setting his thoughts aside for later, Jeff returned to the customers, spent the rest of the time in entertaining them and showing off new products. Various products attracting different crowds. But there were always children. They were after all the primary demographic. How often does a child's entertainment attract a huge following of adults? As with most days at work, he spent the majority of his time demonstrating the toys to the kids. The best way to sell merchandise is to make others want what you have, after all. As Jeff's shift ended and he checked out, he thought about Pinkie Pie. Amazingly, he stayed quiet most of the whole day. Yeah, she's gone, so she really likes cupcakes. Jeff exited the toy store and walked down the nearly empty parking lot towards the plaza and took Pinkie out of his pocket, setting her on the roof of the car as they pulled the key out, so I guess she's not gone, okay. "Oh, wow! What's this thing?" Pinkie questioned. "This," Jeff proudly stated, "is my car. It will get us home." "How?" "It's a magical chariot, Pinkie. It shall take us to the cupcakes first, then home, so we can bake them." Pinkie jumped up and down, overjoyed at the idea of eating more cupcakes. Jeff opened the door and set Pinkie on the passenger seat. "Now sit here, and don't fall off. That would be bad." "Okie dokie dokie," Pinkie said. She was so ecstatic she was bouncing up and down and looking all around the car seat. She even licked it. Jeff, ignoring her, ignited the engine and departed the parking lot, not even questioning her behavior once. "All right, just get some cake mix and icing, and then go home. Not too hard. As long as Pinkie stays in the car, everything should be fine." She will not. Jeff glanced at Pinkie, seeing that she was now rolling the window up and down. "Ooh! Pinkie, could you roll the window back up? It's a bit cold outside." "Okie dokie dokie." "Could you say that one more time?" The sun was now setting upon the small California city. Cars filled the streets, their headlights lighting the dark roads. A small silver Passat entered the parking lot, pulling up to a local S-Mart. "Now stay here, Pinkie. I'm gonna go get cake mix. I'll be right back." Jeff let the radio on for Pinkie so she wouldn't sit in silence. He didn't like the thought of Pinkie sitting alone in silence. He shut the car door and walked into the store. Pinkie sat alone in the car. It was making some weird noise. A voice? It was talking. No, it was singing. Let's see. Oh, Eddie Money, really? Okay. Okay, whatever you say, Cabra. "Got a surprise especially for you. Something that both of us have always wanted to do. We've waited so long, waited so long. We've waited so long, waited so long. Please sing the chorus. I want to sing the chorus. Please, Jeff meandered through the maze of products, his eyes reading the signs above, looking for baking goods or something similar. Jeff finally found what he was looking for. Cupcake mix batter thingy. Trademark, of course. Best product ever. He grabbed the box and walked to the front of the store. While standing in line, he looked to the small TV above the checkout, displaying the news. Not that he cared much. It was always about some failed robberies, murders from the neighboring city, or the latest holdup in Congress. Earlier today there was an attempted robbery, the woman on the news stated. Shocker, Jeff thought with a roll of his eyes. The woman continued, Thankfully the culprit was caught, and nothing appears to have been stolen, and Neville Mitchell has been arrested for breaking and entering. Jeff's eyes shot open, his heart shot up, and concern quickly grew on his face. Oh, no, 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 no. Sir, if they search my home, then this is bad. Really bad. Sir. All right, I need to get home quickly then, and probably try to convince Pinky that they're all right. Sir! Jeff looked up and saw the cashier looking at him. She was a bit annoyed. Jeff sheepishly grinned and made his purchase before rushing out of the store to the car. He opened the door and got in before looking to the seat next to him. Something was missing! Pinky, Jeff called out. I knew it. Oh, Pinky! Hey, it's what happens when I'm going to sing 2 Tickets to Paradise in full. Just saying. Oh, there she is. Oh, what did you get? He heard the voice but couldn't locate the filly. If she's in the radio, I'm going to yell. He looked on the floor at the back seats before hearing some rustling and looked to the bag and saw Pinky. I was going to say, with her fourth wall breaking, she could actually insert herself into the radio station. That would be amazing. Oh, thank goodness. Jeff sighed and placed the key into the ignition. The car soon roared to life and Jeff raced home. By now the sun had set and the town began to slow down and prepare for sleep. Pinky had finally gotten out of the bag and turned the radio up. Ironically, one of Jeff's favorite songs came on, and it felt like a racing song. To him, at least. Radar Love, really? I know both these songs. That's my knowledge of old-time rock and roll, I guess. I've been driving all night, my hands are wet in the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. Down, till my baby calls, said I need you here. It's 4:30 and I'm shifting gears. Traffic had died down and made getting home a lot quicker for Jeff, especially with the current song blasting in the car. Jeff shifted the car to third. The engine quieted, then grew louder as Jeff pushed the gas pedal against the back wall. The car sped down the empty street, its engine now screaming. Much like Pinky was, Pinky began to sink into the back of the seat as the car roared through the quiet town. When I get lonely and I'm sure I've had enough, she sends comfort coming in from above. Don't need no letters at all. We got a thing that's called radar love. We got a line in the sky. Radar love. Jeff wasn't probably had been the whole time singing the song and enjoying the speed of his car. It was no Formula One car, but it had a turbo engine. Fast enough for him at least. His turn was coming up. He slammed on the brakes and Pinky flew into the windshield. Ow! Her body flat as a pancake now. Don't worry, she's a cartoon character. They never get hurt. The screaming was now muffled because of the glass. Her tires screeched, and he skid into the last straightaway before his home. Sadly, the song ended. Oh, I like that song. The radio switched to a new song, a more appropriate car song. Let me see, just taking a look at the lyrics. Panama? Again, the third song I know. Cabra, I like your taste in music, home slice. I'm sorry, but I can't scream like Eddie Van Halen does. But whatever. Oh yeah! Jump back! What's that sound? Here she comes, full blasting top down. Hot chill burning down the avenue. Model citizen, zero discipline. Pinky now, I told you I couldn't do it. Pinky now flew back into the seat, still screaming at the top of her lungs, as Jeff sped up once again. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Jeff loved shifting gears, and it felt like he was actually doing something other than sitting and pushing a pedal with his foot. But sadly, Jeff's home was coming up, and he had to slow down once more. Jeff turned the corner into his apartment complex. He soon found his spot and parked the car. He shut off the radio inside. Pinky, he said, I want you to know that, well, just be ready for whatever you find, okay? Pinky tilted her head, unsure of what Jeff meant. Okie dokie Loki, she smiled. Can I please sing some more? Yeah, I'm asking for permission. I'll sing if I want to. I don't want to. Fine. Whatever. Jeff grabbed Pinky and placed her in his pocket, and then grabbed the bag. He exited the car, shut the door, and locked it. He walked up the stairs to his door, where he was actually greeted. An officer was waiting for him. Are you the owner? He asked. Jeff simply nodded. I'm Officer Steve. Officer Steve? That just sounds stupid. I just need to meet Officer Johnson. Steve Johnson. Earlier today, we got a call from one of your neighbors about someone breaking and entering into your home. I just wanted to let you know that nothing was in his hands or pockets, so it appears that nothing was stolen. Though he may have vandalized your couch, we're not sure how he got it that shade of orange, though. I hope you have a pleasant evening. Oh, Cheeto dust. You too, Jeff replied. Seriously? He stood here until I got home just to tell me nothing was stolen? I mean, that was nice of him, but do officers have nothing better to do in my town? Wait, did he just insult my couch? The jerk! Oh yeah, I forgot his couch is very ugly orange. I shall never forget his name, for many reasons. Mostly because it's a stupid little name. Stupid title, I mean. Seriously? Officer Steve? Yeah, Will, your name's Jeff Bridges. The officer departed, and Jeff opened his door. The lights sparked to life and illuminated the small abode. Nothing was out of place, but it was quiet. Far too quiet. Jeff walked into the spare room. Hello, he called out. Sparkle. Dash. Silence. Pinky now poked her head out of his pocket. Hello, she sang. We have cupcakes. Once again, silence answered them. Jeff walked into his bedroom. He walked to the bed and set the cupcake mix and Pinky on the bed. He looked around and saw no pony. Then he looked to the window. It was open. Oh no. Sparkle, we've been looking for hours, Dash complained. We should probably head back and get Jeff to help us. Sparkle stopped and looked back to her companions. They were tired and hungry. It was getting late, and the cool air was beginning to sweep in. She sighed and looked ahead. The end of the park was so far, almost as far as her home. But what about Pinky? I know you're concerned, Sparkle, AJ said, but don't you think that Jeff will be even more worried with all of us missing? We come this far. We can't just give up. We're not giving up, Sparkle, Dash insisted. We simply cannot stay out here all night, though. It's so not indoors, Crystal whined. Would you stop complaining, Crystal? It's all you've been doing since we left, AJ smirked. I'm not complaining. I am lamenting. Well, that's different. And at least I didn't fall down a hole. She stammered back at AJ. I told you I didn't see it. Girls, Sparkle yelled. This isn't getting us anywhere. We need to make a decision. Do we go home or keep looking for Pinky? I'll vote home, AJ said. I must agree. I need a bath. Crystal added. I say we keep looking. We can't give up now. Weren't you just saying that you should give up? Shut up, Dash. Sparkle pondered for a moment and then turned to Fluttershy. Her head was downcast and she was tapping one of the grass blades. Well, Fluttershy, what do you think? Fluttershy sighed and looked to the other fillies. She squeaked something inaudible to them. They all tilted their heads to look at her. She ducked lower into the grass and squeaked something again. Louder! Dash screamed. We can't hear you. I want to go home, Fluttershy cried. It's dark and scary out here. I just want to go home. Oh, there, Crystal sympathized. Sparkle, let's just go home. We can search in the morning. She walked to Fluttershy and hugged her, trying to comfort her. Sparkle sighed. All right, let's go then. Neville sat in his jail cell, alone, or so he thought. Ah! He screamed. Who are you? An older gentleman in a pink robe sat on the bed. His hair was thinning, reminding Neville of Mr. Jonas. Wait, you seem oddly familiar. Do I know you? What? Oh, wait, what? I got it mixed up. What? No, the man said. I'm just a stranger that you have never seen before in your life. What's your name? Neville queried. Tommy, the man said. Seems like a real creep to me. Oh, you're one to talk, Neville thought to himself. Neville looked to the bed. A green comic caught his eye. What are you reading there? He asked. Oh, it's just a Cosmopolitan. A slam was heard. A door swung open, then closed. Which one is yours? An officer asked. Neville looked out of the cell. He could see an officer getting an older woman, half Neville's weight, through the jail. Oh, no! Neville screamed. Oh, now, Mother. That one, the woman said, pointing to Neville. Mother, what are you doing here? Neville questioned. I saw you on the news. I knew you'd be on television one day. Neville groaned, and the officer opened the cell. And that's chapter 5. And right before 30 minutes. So it was a nice chapter. I got to sing more. I wanted to sing more, but Fortunately not. Nobody wants to hear my voice. I understand, but, doesn't mean I can't still sing. Assholes. I guess I'll just go sing in a corner while I'm crying, chugging ice cream to my mouth by myself. Oh, cruel world. Oh, cruel world.